Be ready to change yourself. Be ready to challenge your better self. Know that your mind can develop a passionate winning spirit, but not by yourself. We guarantee your family in love with your life, and you're gonna love all the grind. Lewis and Bars together, we develop your mindset with vitamin C for your mind. Don't you settle with what you know. There's much to learn, there's much to earn. Tell yourself I'm ready to fight, ready to be heard. Out of success and awakening rise. There's so many words that turn into prices. Be ready to change for the best. Step up and be great. Don't be like the rest. Develop your mindset.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is number 77. Amazing, man. We're going places. This is Develop Your Mindset podcast, number 77. Here we are, Saturday, as usual. Me and Luis. We're gonna be talking about stuff that we experience in the company, because we are a jewelry company and we run a company. A lot of stuff happens, so we make the podcast on whatever we experience during every week. And hopefully this is gonna be interesting and you guys gonna enjoy listening to us and having fun. Please leave a comment down below if you have any questions. And without further ado, Luis is gonna say hi to you guys.
Yeah, so welcome back everybody to another episode of Develop Your Mindset podcast. As always, it's good to be here and be able to share what happens throughout the week with you guys, and hopefully you guys learn from our experiences in order for you guys to improve the quality of your life, improve your business, your life, whatever pursuits you have. We hope that with what we share here, you're able to make that better for yourself. Anyway, without further ado, we can go ahead and get started.
Okay, so as usual, we do full week, Monday to Saturday. Usually I take this stuff from Monday to Friday, wherever we go through. And this week was not different than other weeks, because it's as a company, as a business, we are jam-packed with action, with diversities and different opinion and different mindsets and all kinds of stuff. So so the company, if you guys don't know, I make sure the company is run by different ideas, different opinions, and also different mindsets. So sometimes during that there is a little clash here and there, and a little bit we have to work on it until we get it back to the road of success target. So that's how this week has been, and you guys gonna find out from the questions and from the explanations of this how it's been. So the first one, I'm gonna start with how much of your control is enough to give up, and how much you should tolerate. So obviously when you start something, you are the originator, and obviously you have somewhat of control, but you give up a lot of control when you want to expand, when you want to go bigger, do more. As a person, you can do so much. If the orders, the life, the business life exceeds your time, you have to bring in partners, help, employees, and all kinds of whatever you want to call it, because it doesn't work only one way, depending what kind of company you're running it. So this goes into relationships. You get married, you have a friend or a girlfriend. Now you have to share what you have, and sometimes it's not easy, especially the house deed is under your name. You know what I mean? Like you're paying for it. So these are things that happens, and it's natural. Obviously, you just have to learn how to give up real estate, a little bit of I don't know how to say, like a little bit of priorities and like importance, all kinds of that kind of things. And you gotta give up, man. Like if you don't, it's not gonna work out. And if you, in your mind, think that you have a little bit more control, that's not gonna work either. So you have to always know, your first commitment, what you want for it to happen, and how much you can tolerate. That's a good question, right? So we don't know. Sometimes you think you can tolerate a lot, but sometimes things happen. You find yourself into dilemma. Now, should I accept this? Should I not? What's going on? That kind of deal, and you have to figure out for yourself. Now, a lot of people can let go almost everything. Some people can't let go not even 10%. So whatever is your dilemma, you gotta sit down and think about it really deeply, and don't think too long, because life is short. So you gotta figure out this stuff really quickly, and if it's possible, into minutes, hours. Make sure you don't go over 24 hours. That is insanity. I don't agree with that at all. You should definitely find a resolution in your mind. If you have advisors, maybe immediately you should call those people, contact them, and then get their advice. I don't think there is a word advices, but advice. And you got to make a choice. You got to make a decision. You can't. You know what I mean? Like you cannot take this too long. So. Yeah, just a summary for you guys. You gotta give up some, real estate, so to speak, and also you have to know how much you can tolerate, and then make sure that you can talk about that and let people know, right?
Yeah.
Let's see how you're gonna come about this.
Yeah. So when it comes to should I wait for the ambulance and the police?
I'm so glad that we're hearing ambulance and stuff. It's been so long that downtown Los Angeles has been dead. Previous podcast last year, there was always some kind of craziness out there, but these days it's been pretty quiet.
Yeah, so, giving up control. I think as far as that goes, I mean, I've never really had too much of an issue with this as far as that goes, just because, when it comes to that, I understand that, we all as individuals, we have our strengths and we have our passions, and I think we should all just stick to those. But it really takes a little bit of time to understand what those are. You really have to go out there and experiment and try things in order to, figure out where is it that you feel most comfortable and you feel like you love doing that specific thing. Because once you understand that, you'll understand that, with any journey, with any craft, there will be things that you don't really enjoy doing, as far as like, surrounding that same thing. Like maybe you choose to do marketing and stuff. So maybe within marketing, there's specific things within marketing that you may like. Maybe you like the content creation part. Maybe you like to create ads. Maybe you like to do certain things within marketing, right? But maybe you're in the marketing department and you have to do like all of these other things. And so perhaps you just want to do one specific thing. So maybe you just want to do content creation because that's what passionates you. So at that point, you will have to give up. Giving up control isn't too much of a big deal at that point, because you understand that there's other people. Like when I see other individuals, like I never really see anybody who's like dumb or anything. I just see somebody who's not necessarily positioned. They're not positioning themselves in the right place. And because of that, that's causing them to come off as somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, because they're not positioning themselves properly. They're not in the right space. If they were in the right space, then they would be able to shine properly. And so this is why I'm a big advocate of actually going out there and doing something that passionates you, something that you love. Because if you don't love it, then it's very easy to just start feeling unmotivated, start slacking off, and not really, put in your 100%, because you're just not passionate about it. And so pretty much you're just not going to stand out. Now, of course, if you have a passion and then you have something that you're doing like this because at that point you kind of just have to, then of course, you know, that's understandable. And yeah, so as far as like, you know, control goes, yes, you know, there will be a time where you will have to sort of delegate. And I think this comes you know, this comes with its own like leadership skills. Of course, you will have to understand how to delegate those things properly, and always delegate them to somebody who actually has a passion for whatever it is that you're doing. So like I was saying, for the example of marketing, perhaps your thing is content creation, so maybe that's the thing that you want to stick to. Perhaps that's not the thing you want to delegate, but maybe you want to delegate the other things. And so you want to find somebody who's actually passionate about like maybe running ads, and somebody who loves to read analytics and stuff like that, you know. So you give control to the right people, and then you just let them do their thing, and you can trust them because they're passionate about that specific area, as opposed to just putting somebody there just for the sake of it. Perhaps they don't necessarily enjoy doing that. Maybe they have the potential, but if they just don't enjoy it, they have no passion, then you just can't force somebody to do something like that. It's just not going to work out in the long run. Maybe in the short term, you can force somebody through control to do a certain thing, but eventually in the long run, it's just not going to work out, and you know, that person is just not going to feel very comfortable there. So yeah.
Very true. And then you're gonna end up getting frustrated, right? Frustrated, and yeah, you'll start talking in your mind, and you think you're going crazy. So, I guess if you do the right way, then you don't have to go through that. Next is what are the importance, right? It should be like that. Small things or big things, and what is first, what is last or after. So here we go. I mean, the importance is very crucial because, like you explained, you know, you got to find the right people, and that's very important. And then you have to give the important thing, since everything is important when you're running a family, company, life. You know, nothing is for later. Everything is important. If something's gonna get done, it's gonna get done. So that becomes important. So you have to delegate into the right people, the right places, the right amount of time, the right target. You know, and that's when you get results. And obviously, if you're running something that it costs a lot of money to run, then you have to have some kind of result oriented, some result that you can see what's coming in, what's going out, and then that's how you're gonna gauge this. And then, so yes, it's what is important is the flow is important, the people are important, your word when you say something, it's important, and when you hold people accountable, that's important too. Those people need to what is that? They need to perform. So what is first? What is after? First is I don't know what is first, man. There's so many firsts in my mind. First is the bank account, or the people, or the company. I don't know. Like, what is the first for you? I guess you have to figure out. And then what is after? It's gotta have you know, it's got to have some kind of pattern where maybe like if there's 10 people working, maybe there 10 people should know that these are the first, those are seconds and third and whatnot. So I guess it's very important because of that too, because you kind of have to know what is first and after, what comes after. You can be doing the second and then expect that, you know, those especially if time sensitive work, it's gonna get done. So you gotta delegate it correctly. So that's another thing there. So yeah, importance is, again, you know, it's a lot of individual preference, and also I think like importance kind of changes. It doesn't stay the same. depending on the year, the season, next year, 3 years later, the importance change. Doesn't stay the same. So I would say definitely pay attention to this kind of stuff. In like as a human being life and a business life, it's all the same, about the same. You gotta take it seriously, So pay attention.
Yeah, so I think when it comes to this, I mean, if you're running a company or something like that, I think it really comes down to how you want to actually do it, and what you want to prioritize. But also, and then once you choose that, that will pretty much dictate how you pick your team appropriately, and so. Yeah, in the previous example, I did speak about choosing individuals who have passion, but that's one way you could go. Of course, you can pick individuals who are passionate about their position, and then you let them do their thing. But also, you could also pick people who just get the job done. Because perhaps it depends how much skill level you also have, in that specific department, and how much, control you want to give up as far as the creative control goes. Because let's just say maybe you're looking for somebody who's going to run ads, and maybe you actually don't really care how those ads look or anything. All you really care is that those ads actually perform and they generate, something. As far as how they're made, and maybe all you really care is the budget. This is how much I'm gonna give you to make the ads, do whatever you want, put them wherever you want, this social media, this other one, I don't care, just as long as it generates back. And so there's that type of where you delegate and you just pretty much let that person do their thing. Or perhaps you do actually want to have control of the ads. Maybe you do want to actually okay, I want the design of these ads to look a specific way. I want you to put them here and here and here. I want you to put this much into this social media, this other much into this other one, and I want you to do this. Then in that case, perhaps you might not want to get somebody who's passionate, about that, because you might actually be doing them a disfavor, because that person may have their own set of ideas. You may come in with a different set of ideas, and then there may be this constant clash. And so in that case, you might want to actually get somebody who's just experienced, and somebody who doesn't necessarily have a passion, but they can actually do what you want them to. But of course, this requires for you to actually know about running ads in the first place, and you just go and you just tell this person specifically what you want out of them. Okay, this is what I want you to create 3 ads. Maybe this ad is going to be an image one, maybe this other ad is going to be a video, and I want this video to be this long, a minute long. I want it to show this and this. I want it to tell a specific story and this and this. And so this person, they may not be passionate, but they have the skill, they have the knowledge to create what you want. And so in that case, that may be a better teammate to have, and you still can retain that creative control. But if you don't know anything about ads and you just want to see results, then maybe you want to get someone who's passionate, because at that point they can create their own ideas, they're self-motivated, they have the passion already. And so you just pretty much have to give them the resources, pretty much, as far as the budget goes. Give them the resources, and they'll do the rest as far as putting everything together. And so yeah, that's just one example there, but it really depends on you and what you want to prioritize as far as your company goes.
I think you said it, man. You said it good. You put your finger on the wound, so to speak. Yeah, definitely, guys. What Luis explained is so true. Passionate passion surpasses any skill set, even if the skill set is halfway. Comparing with the best skill set person, always it will surpasses. Always gonna do better. So. Yeah, if you don't have the experience, hear it from us, and that's true. So we should write that and put it on the wall, man. You should, like, everyone should remember this. So important. All right, so next one. Here we go. Should you keep on doing the insanity, or you should find some sanity? Man, you know, call me insane. I do the insanity. I don't like the sanity. I don't like to be in my comfort zone. I don't want to. I refuse to be in my comfort zone. I just do it. Even if I know that it might not succeed, I still do it to find out what does it take to succeed. So, yeah, sometimes you have to be a little bit insane. I mean, you have to, you gotta go out there, you know, you gotta try things, and if you wanna succeed big, you wanna do something, you gotta be uncomfortable places many times in a day, not even a week, you know, and sometimes it's gonna just like, it's gonna be too much, and it's gonna take you a little bit to work on yourself, to bring yourself back to sanity, so to speak, but like controllable insanity. So yeah, I really don't want to be in my comfort zone, like I said, and I really push myself all the fucking time, man. And I think that's it. I mean, I could be giving some examples, but pretty much this is it.
Yeah.
This is what it takes.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a pretty admirable attitude there to have. I mean, to not want to pursue,
give up.
Yeah, not pursue comfort, and always pursuing like the uncomfort, because that's primarily where you'll grow. And I think this is something that, you know, probably he is not realizing this, but that's something that you really have to work on for years upon years, you know, to be able to handle such a position where you're constantly putting yourself in uncomfort. You know, that's something that it's not something that you can just do from one day to another and just constantly put yourself in that. That really comes down, you know, you really have to be putting yourself, you know, little by little, you know, day by day, you put yourself in uncomfort, and then maybe the next day you add a little bit more uncomfort, and then so on, and you just keep on doing that, you know, and throughout the years, the more you're doing that, eventually you'll get to a point where you can put yourself in uncomfortable places for very long periods of time. And so I think this comes to like building endurance, you know, it's sort of like, it's like you're working out a muscle pretty much, you know, yeah, exactly. So you're working out like pretty much your mind at that point to be able to handle more and more. And so I mean, I'm personally working on that right now. Obviously, I don't have the same level of I can't put myself in the same in that same period of uncomfort as he can, and that's but I'm okay with that, because I'm still working on that, you know, day by day. Like I said, you know, this is something that you got to work on throughout the years, and perhaps, you know, when I'm you know, like in the upcoming years, 5-6 years, I'm gonna be able to sustain even longer periods of uncomfort, and so, but yeah, definitely it's something that you should keep in mind, and it's something that you should constantly be working on, and yeah, I mean, like he said, you know, you yeah, obviously, you know, he says it like it's like something like, well, he says it as like something that's easy.
Which part?
Like it sounds like
I refuse part.
Like it sounds like he like it's something easy to get there, you know, to put yourself in such a situation, you know, and that, you know, it's something that's easy to replicate, but in reality it's not something that's easy to replicate. It's something that you have to, you know, put in the work, and and it can take years for you to get to such a level where you can be uncomfortable for such a long period of time. But it pays off for sure.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's been like, at least I would say, I used to think that I was good at this, and then one day I had the breakdown. That was about 5 years ago now, and after that point I promised myself that I'm gonna do it, and I started doing it. It's been 5 years, and I still have moments where I go out of control, and I want to come back into control, and I hate myself when I can't, and I just fucking like so hard on myself. Now I refuse to stay there, and I find a corner, a way to get out of that. And when I do, I'm like nothing happened. Just go at it again. Continue going to your journey. But like I say, always like organized journey. You just don't want to go into some wilderness without having some kind of knife, some kind of weapon, some kind of food, some kind of map where you are. So, organize yourself and then go into that journey. And, but anytime you go into journey, it's a stress. It's you got to deal with unknown and some crazy things that you don't like eating, you don't like drinking it, you don't like hearing it, you don't like seeing it, but it's going to be there waiting for you in that next corner. What are you going to do? How are you going to perform?
Yeah.
That was amazing. Yeah. What is next thing? What is the difference between succeeding and coming short on succeeding, of course? And like we're talking, how about we continue what we're talking about? Let's say the difference between succeeding or not succeeding is self-esteem, definitely. Focus, definitely. Determination. Those three, if you combine them together, it is do or die. It's like you gotta hold yourself and get yourself cross the line every time. There is always that one line, and it's always you're getting shot at. You're getting stepped on. You're always getting pushed down. You gotta somehow get the strength, get off your ass, crawl if you have to, finish that line, and then when you stand up, you go to the next. It's about the same. It's not gonna change. It's always the same. It's always like you're bogged down all the time. It's always the pressure is on. You're calculating, doing everything. You're taking action. It's never the same when you take action. Like almost like all your calculation means nothing because, fuck man, life is not so simple. Each time is different. The same scenario is about it's different. It's not the same. So difference between success and coming short is you don't give up, man. You just do it. You gotta be hard on yourself, not give up. Just fucking do it. Whatever it takes, just do it and do it and do it, and then be more successful than being failing. So failure is not an option too. So when I see the failure, it's not an option. I don't take it. I just do it again.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the difference is that.
Yeah, so for me, the difference between succeeding and coming short is really the end result and what you initially had in mind. That would be the end result. Obviously, when you succeed, I think that's when you actually achieved whatever it is that you had in mind in the first place. You went after it, you took action, everything worked out, and you succeeded. However, when you come short, I think that's when you didn't get what you initially wanted. And perhaps, you came short for whatever reason. Like you said, sometimes it could be a lack of self-confidence, self-esteem. You didn't put in enough focus. You weren't disciplined. You didn't take enough action, whatever the case may be. And so
that word goes with what I was saying to discipline.
Yeah, and I think even a similarity between succeeding and really coming short is really a learning lesson. And so, when you succeed, you have a learning lesson that, okay, this worked. Whatever I did in this process, it worked. It got me the result I wanted. So that's the learning lesson there. If you come short, though, then you have another lesson to learn, and it's what doesn't work. And so perhaps whatever it is that you did, it's not working. It just didn't produce the result. And so it really... coming short really opens the opportunity for you to explore that situation deeper and see what is it that didn't work. What was it? What step, along the process led to you coming short? Maybe it was a lack of, self-esteem. Maybe you didn't believe in yourself enough, and because of that, and it could also be like a domino effect as well. So perhaps, you just didn't have enough self-esteem. You didn't believe in yourself, and because you didn't believe in yourself, you didn't take enough action, or perhaps you didn't take the necessary risk that you were supposed to take, and because you played it safe, you just didn't get, you weren't able to get what you wanted, and so perhaps you didn't have enough discipline in place, and because you didn't have enough discipline, you didn't take enough action, and because you didn't take enough action, well, you never got the result. And so there's a million, not a million maybe, but there's a few combinations of why you came short, and so it's an opportunity for you to explore it. And that's what you should do, explore it. Don't go into the other realm where you come short and you just feel like quitting, and you get depressed and you get negative and all that stuff. That's not really very future oriented. That's definitely the place you don't want to go. Instead, you want to see this in a positive light and as a learning experience, so that the next time you put yourself in a position where you could succeed. So
yeah. So we're talking about discipline and just do it. So I just wanted to share with you guys, this is my text. When I roll my text, my background picture says, so this person, if you guys are not familiar with, his name is Grant Cardone. He's holding a little plaque saying that discipline is what makes you dangerous. That's what I have on my text when I'm rolling down. And then when I open my screen, it says, if you guys are familiar with Dan Pena, he has this saying, which I adapted. He says, just fucking do it. So that's what my phone tells me every time I open. So, you guys have to kind of find things where you're always getting reminded, and that's going to become your core belief system too. Even if you don't have one, you have to adapt something that you have to believe in it. And that belief, it's going to take you to the next level, to your next level. And it's something where it's very deep, very passionate. You have to be passionate about that. So, this is the way I do it. Your way might be a little bit different. Maybe you want to go put a tattoo here or something, whatever, or here, so whatever it takes, you got to do it. Let's go to the next, which is love is important or respect. Give you guys a minute, and then there are different variations of this, right? So here we go. To me, everything is important, but some things surpasses other things. Some things become more important when you're doing day-by-day things, which is, I think, here what is important is the respect, and then the love of the respect. So if you just love someone and they're just fucking, they step all over you and shit, and then you're still loving this person, what kind of love is that? That's unbalanced, But if you respect someone and you give love to that person, now it becomes I don't know what is the word, like character, It's like you can't move it. It's like a mountain. It's heavy. It's like earth. Yes, you have to find respect. You have to make your mind for it, and then you have to use that respect that it's dear and it's very important. And then if you insert the love in there, so love mixes with respect, it's gonna be a whole lot better than just loving someone. I'm sure you guys had experienced crazy loves, or you might have experienced one. That love is not only enough by itself, So yeah, the difference between these two is definitely respect starts first, and yeah, I think that's it. I have bunch all around me, and I don't want it any other way.
Yeah. Yeah, and in this one I agree as well. I think respect is it's a bit more important as far as like, you know, making a connection with somebody else. I think that's but in all aspects, I mean, I think they're both important, but when it comes to respect, obviously, you know, respect, I think it goes a little bit beyond, you know, just love, you know, like sure you may express love for, like, you know, the people around you, but respect is something that, you know, you can give and also, you know, claim for yourself. But that's even for the people that you don't love. You know, you can respect someone without necessarily needing to love that person. And so yeah, but love itself is also something that's important as well. And I think I do agree that you can, like, there's got to be both, you know, as far as like when you're loving somebody, like obviously, you know, if that person is not respecting you, like that's not okay, and you should say something about it, and, you know, express yourself, you know, how you feel about the situation, because yeah, love itself is not going to make up for, you know, disrespect at some point. And so, you know, you gotta that's got to be something that it's got to be said. However, you know, I think love is also important. And so, you know, you expressing your love and being forgiving as well, and all those things are also, you know, very nice. And so, yeah.
I think, you know what I was imagining, you love making coffee.
Yeah.
So like when you're making macchiato, you make the coffee. I guess that's the respect. When you add the milk to give that beautiful design and everything, that's let's say that's love. So without coffee you can't have macchiato.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then love is the like the sweetness, like, to it, and the addition to it. So yeah, definitely you need the coffee to make the coffee to make the macchiato. I don't know. That's funny, right? But I was thinking, wow, how, like, what are you trying to say? And I was like, wait, you know, you like making coffee. Yeah, so I think pretty much we're done with all the weak, crazy explanation and everything. So here we go. This is the last question, because the podcast is called Develop Your Mindset. Here we close with Develop Your Mindset question, which goes like this. Develop your mindset on kicking the ball down the field. So whatever you're doing, you gotta make sure you kick the ball down the field, because if you don't, you are not advancing. Every time you kick the ball down the field and you come to the end of the field, either you're gonna score or you're gonna start over again. So you gotta develop your mindset that this is how it works. This is how life is. This is how you know, everything we talk kind of works this way. You gotta not give up, not give in, refuse to give up, and always push the ball down the field, no matter what it takes. And then make sure when you are down the field, you're gonna try your best to score. If it doesn't, you can't score, something happens, not your liking, you just don't sit there and cry forever. You come back, you do it again. You know, as long as we're healthy first, as long as we're alive, as long as we are in the game, we always have next opportunity to push the ball down the field. And then you got to make sure that you're doing that. And while you're doing it, everything we talked about is important. While you're doing that, when you reach down the field, you got to take your best shot, score, you know? So.
Yeah, so developing your mindset on kicking the ball down the field, of course, man. I love the soccer analogy. I love soccer, and so yeah, definitely. I mean,
Soccer analogy.
I definitely don't enjoy a soccer game when the team is just passing the ball in the like in the back half of the field, you know, where they're just constantly passing and passing. I'm like, yo, like when are you gonna like advance, you know, like you know, like you're doing all this planning and stuff, but like come on, like just throw the ball over there, you know, like try to score or something, you know. And I think this really comes down to you know, taking opportunities, taking shots, you know. And so definitely, you know, sometimes it's gonna result in a goal, and sometimes it just isn't, you know. There's gonna be an obstacle, there's the defense, you're gonna get blocked, or perhaps your shot is just way off accuracy, meaning that you were just going in the whole wrong direction and stuff. And so, or who knows, maybe the teammates are not in sync, and so, you know, you got to get that in sync, because who knows, maybe you pass the ball, the other teammate is just not aware of what's going on. He's in a whole different headspace, and they just they don't see the pass. And so, yeah, and so you always got to continuously like be taking those opportunities and, you know, making moves and see which one's going to work, which one's not going to move, and
find the weak points, weak spots, and then just hammer through to get to the end field. Yeah, man, like literally this last part is what life is, you know, what business life is, what relationship is, what friendship is, what everything is. So you got to develop your mindset about this, and then you got to agree and then and admit that this is how it's going to work, and then good luck, man. Like, good luck for all of us. We got a short life. Remember, we're not going to live 300 years old. This is it. Whatever you are, that's the most important life, the age that you are living in this life. And this today is, whenever you're watching this, is the most important day in your life. And then do the best, just kill it, and you know, have a blast, enjoy, and yeah, we'd love to hear from you guys. If you have any if you had any amazing day, amazing week, please let us know down below. We'd love to hear from you guys. And with that, we're gonna be closing.
Yeah, so I mean, thank you very much once again for joining us on another podcast episode. And yeah, I mean, we spoke about a lot of things in this one, everything from, you know, your passions, picking the right team, and, you know, respect and stuff like that. And so hopefully, you know, all these things can help you improve your company, improve your life, improve the way you proceed with things, improve the level of action that you take, the attitude that you approach situations with, and so on and so forth. Maybe you start thinking more about putting yourself in uncomfortable situations more often and stuff like that, you know, because those are the things that are going to help you grow at the end of the day. And so, yeah, you're just not going to be around forever. You just got to keep that in mind. And so, you know, the time is now to start taking action. And obviously, it's not like you have to make a huge impact from one day to another, but you always got to start somewhere. You got to start with some sort of step. And so, all we're really asking is that you do something, you know, take some sort of step, you know, take, even if it's a small risk, but take something, you know. Eventually, you know, the more you do it, the bigger the risk you'll be able to take, and the more you'll be able to advance and grow. And so, and so
for sure, when you start doing that, you'll start developing thicker skin, like calluses. And it starts with the one layer first. I mean,
definitely. And so, yes, you know, by putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, you do end up experiencing some sort of uncomfort, pain. You might go through some struggle, but you will recover eventually. And when you recover, and you start off. You know, you're a little bit stronger now, and so you can go put yourself in the same situation, and you come off stronger again, and so on and so forth. That's how you build yourself up little by little. And so
I have one more thing to say about recover yourself when you take action. So basically, before we finish, I wanted to say, you know, sometimes people, they recover and they develop this fear, and then the fear stops them taking the next step, next action, because they don't want to be embarrassed. They don't want to be like embarrassed next to their spouse, friends, brothers, sisters, laughing at them that we always knew that you're a failure. So when that happens, refuse with your whole being. Take the action. Do it again. That's it. You know?
This is very true, actually. I've actually gone through that a few times in the past where I would go through the unconfirmed. I would come back a little stronger, but then I didn't want to do it again. It's like, it's that, it's that fear.
It's the shame. It's the, like people gonna talk shit to you. Like, who gives a shit at that point? You know, when you succeed, then they're gonna talk. Let them talk then. Like, don't worry about what's going on here and there in between.
Yeah. In order to really overcome that, just really quick here, the way I really did it was that I really thought about, like, what hurts more, the embarrassment of going through the failure, or the pain of not actually getting what I want. Because you can lie to everybody else and say, like, oh, I'm good, I'm like this is what I wanted anyway, I'm good with this.
I'm comfortable.
Like you can lie to people and be like, hey, I don't want to do anymore because that's just not for me. But deep down, you can't lie to yourself. You know exactly like what you want. And so that pain of not getting what you want and settling it's eventually is gonna get so big that the embarrassment is just like, the pain of getting embarrassed is just gonna be so small compared to the pain of not actually going after what you want. So
another thing you just reminded me of, like in the average people, they have this thing they always say, this guy never gonna learn because this guy is not giving up. That's why he's never gonna learn. He knows. We all know. We just don't want to give up. We just want to know if we're gonna be successful, whatever it takes. So don't be average, be exceptional.
All right, so with that said, thank you very much. There will be links down below so you guys can check out our social medias. By the way, we are doing a shirt giveaway, so if you're interested in that, there'll be a link down below to a video where you can watch that and see how you can win one of our shirts here on Develop Your Mindset podcast. And should we also mention the other one?
Sure.
For the jewelry.
After all.
So we're currently running a winter sale right now, also for the jewelry company, which is Kabarti Jewelry. We do have a video for that as well, where you can learn more as far as like what that offer is. But it's pretty much our Cosmos collection. We're offering a 20% discount, and also what was the other one? We had another one too. It was like there's an extra, I believe,
The ads you're running.
There was an extra offer, I believe. So there's an extra 10% off of the rest of the products in the website. So you can learn more. There's going to be a video down below so you guys can learn more about that. And I mean, with that said, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. We'll see you next week.
All right, see you next week.
Develop your mindset.